In the heart of Liberia, where the lush Gola forest stretches like a vast green sea, two villages stand divided by an ancient feud. For generations, the Njia and Sandy clans have been at odds, their differences rooted in battles over land and the mystical knowledge passed down through the ages. In this world, tradition is law, and breaking that law could lead to disastrous consequences. Kima, the eldest daughter of Chief Golima of the Njia clan, was unlike the other young women of her village. While others were content to live within the bounds of tradition, Kima longed for more. She often ventured deep into the forest to gather herbs for her mother, but secretly, she sought the freedom that only the forest could offer. It was on one of these trips that she met Tamba, a young blacksmith from the Sandy clan, whose laughter echoed through the trees as he chased a stray goat. Kima hid behind a tree, watching him. Tamba was everything she had been warned about, rebellious, unpredictable, and a Sandy. And yet, as their eyes met across the clearing, something inside her shifted. Tamba, noticing her gaze, smiled warmly, and without a word, approached her. "Are you lost?" he asked, his tone light-hearted. "No," Kima replied, trying to mask her fear. "I am where I'm supposed to be." "Then perhaps," Tamba said, "I was the one meant to find you." Their first encounter was brief, but it left a mark on both their hearts. They continued meeting secretly in the forest, drawn to one another, despite the feud that divided their families. As their love grew, so did the risks they took to see each other. The forest became their sanctuary, the one place where their love could exist. One night, as Kima sneaked back into her village, she was startled to find Mama Nyank, the village elder and spiritual advisor, waiting for her by the fire. Mama Nyank's wise eyes seemed to see straight into Kima's soul. "I know what you're doing, child," Mama Nyank said, her voice heavy with warning. "The spirits of our ancestors whisper in the night. Your path is dangerous. You are tied to something bigger than love." Kima lowered her head, feeling the weight of Mama Nyank's words. "The spirits speak of a great disaster," the elder continued. "Your love with the boy from Sandy will bring destruction upon us all. Return to your family, Kima. It is not too late." But Kima's heart could not be swayed. She had found something in Tamba that no tradition, no spirit, could replace. She promised Mama Nyank that she would be careful, but deep down, she knew her love for Tamba had already taken root. As the months passed, whispers of Kima's secret meetings with Tamba began to spread. When Chief Golima learned of his daughter's betrayal, his anger was swift and fierce. He demanded that Kima marry a warrior from her clan to solidify alliances and prove her loyalty. "You will marry within our clan," Chief Golima commanded. "We cannot allow our bloodline to mix with the Sandy. They are our enemies, and their betrayal runs deep." Kima, torn between her love for Tamba and her duty to her family, fled to the forest, where she found Tamba waiting. He had heard of the forced marriage and brought with him a token of their love, a ceremonial mask stolen from his own clan's sacred shrine. "This mask," Tamba said, holding the wooden artifact between them, "represents our future. We can leave this place, escape from the feuds of our families, and live together." Kima hesitated. The mask was a powerful symbol, one that would be seen as a betrayal of both their clans. But as she looked into Tamba's eyes, she realized she couldn't live without him. "We will be hunted," she whispered. "Then let them hunt us together," Tamba replied. The theft of the mask was discovered within hours, and the Sandy clan erupted in outrage. They blamed the Njia for the betrayal, and Chief Golima, in turn, accused the Sandy of luring his daughter away. Tensions between the clans boiled over, and before long, the drums of war began to beat. In the heart of the forest, where Kima and Tamba had once found peace, warriors from both sides clashed. Spears flew, metal clanged, and the cries of battle echoed through the trees. Tomba stood in the middle of the chaos, trying to stop the fight, his heart torn between his people and the woman he loved. Kima, he called out, as he saw her running toward him from the edge of the battlefield. We have to stop this. Kima cried, tears streaming down her face. But it was too late. The battle had taken on a life of its own, driven by years of hatred and mistrust. Kima and Tomba stood powerless as their clans fought a war sparked by their love. After hours of bloodshed, the village elders called for a ceasefire. Both clans had suffered heavy losses, and the forest was littered with the remnants of their hatred. In the village square, Kima and Tomba were brought before Chief Golima and Mama Nyank. The entire village gathered, watching in silence as the young lover stood before the elders. Kima, her heart pounding in her chest, looked at her father. His face was set in a mask of anger, but deep in his eyes, she saw the pain of betrayal. You have brought shame upon our family, Chief Golima said, his voice cold. Your love has cost us lives. There can be no forgiveness. Kima fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. Father, please. I did not mean for this to happen. I only wanted to love. Tomba, standing tall beside her, spoke up. I love her. I always will. If that means I must face death, then I will do so gladly. The crowd murmured, torn between tradition and the undeniable love that stood before them. Mama Nyank, who had remained silent until now, finally spoke. Love is a powerful force, she said, her voice carrying the weight of generations. But so is tradition. You stand at a crossroads, Kima and Tomba. One path leads to destruction, the other to redemption.